Hola, hola.
No, buenas noches, Lorena.
Hola, hola, Miguel.
Aló, Lorena. Buenas noches, mil disculpas.
Buenas noches.
Ahora,
No
tengo
se preocupe.
problemas con mi conexión. No me permite, no me permitió ingresar a tu enlace.
Sí, de hecho, acá puedo ver que la conexión está inestable.
Sí, 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 sí.
Me sale eso. Ahora, si no, si prefieres, porque tal vez las prácticas no se guarden, a veces cuando está hacia el internet suele ser mucho problema, digamos. Si prefieres, si no, podemos reprogramar la clase para directamente el día lunes, o si usted tuviera tiempo el día sábado o domingo, recuperamos la clase.
Intentaremos, veremos si está bien
Si
la
no se
conexión.
guarda. Ya, 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 ya.
Sí,
Si
sí,
no, lo
sí.
que podamos hacer para que en la plataforma no se tenga problemas, la explicación de las gramáticas y intentamos en la plataforma. ¿Le parece bien?
Muy bien.
Ya.
No voy a usar video porque tal vez.
Sí, eso es lo que lo lentea, la verdad, sí. Mejor es que lo pause. Ok. Ok, Miguel. So, okay, I will share a document.
Ok,
Okay, so I will send you to your Gmail.
ok, ok.
So yes, I
I'm in the platform. I don't know if we gonna work.
yes, we are gonna work.
Okay,
But
okay,
after the explanation, we will work in this.
okay. Yeah, I think it's my connection.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
maybe the internet.
Yes, yes, but I don't know why. If uh, I didn't get your email.
Okay, okay, okay. So it's sending right now. Mm, well,
Yeah, I think it's my connection.
okay. I will send you all the document for this unit 2. Okay. So today we have to start unit 2 and I will send you all the explanation about all the grammars. Okay. So,
No, I will share my screen. And I I got a message that it's la función inhabilitó la función.
okay, okay, okay.
But
Okay.
I don't have your email. I'm looking even unwanted.
Okay. Maybe if you could refresh.
Okay, okay, it's here.
Yes. Okay.
That's it. Now
Mm,
I open it.
great.
Should I share my screen?
Yes, please.
Okay, but I got the message about the host.
Okay, the permission. Okay,
Yes.
now you can do it.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, we're here.
Great, perfect. So the first grammar that we have in the platform It's about present perfect, okay? So when we talk about this grammar, we have to realize that we have to use two auxiliaries, okay? In this case, we have, okay? And we have has, these two auxiliaries. But these two ones we're gonna use with the specific subjects. For example, have with I, you, we, they, and has with he, she, it, okay? So we have to remember always this structure or always this order about the uses of the auxiliaries. So when we talk about the structures for making sentences, we have these three ones. The first one that we use for affirmative sentences. So what are we gonna have first? The subject, after have or maybe has, depends on the subject. And after, always we're gonna use with verb in past participle, okay? Always the verb in past participle. And finally, the complement. When we want to make only negative sentences, the only thing that we have to do is to put haven't, maybe with the contraction, haven't or hasn't, or maybe only have not and has not, okay? Plus the verb in past participle and the complement. When we talk about questions, always have and has at the beginning, after the subject, after the past participle, and finally the complement, okay? So as we have here some examples, we are gonna see the first one that it says, I have, well, I, it's my subject. So this subject works with the auxiliary have, and the verb in past participle is studied. My complement for the exam. So I have studied for my exam. Okay, what does it mean? When we use have or has, always we have to know that the meanings of this it's like hemos, an, a, as, for example. In this case, the meaning is yo he estudiado para el examen, right? So always I have to use the correspondent auxiliary with the subject. He, she, it, that these are the third person singular, we have to use with has. The plural and the first person in singular with have. And we have to remember that always with this grammar or perfects, we have to use the past participle of the verbs, okay? So that is the only thing. And if we go down, okay, in contractions, we can see the contraction of these ones. For example, if I want to contract the subject with have, I will find this. I've, okay, I've spent all my money. You have, you've. So this is the contraction. You've, he's, she's, it's, we've, you've, and they've. Okay, so those are the contractions for have and has. Okay, and after this we have the negative sentences. As an example, of course, the first one that we have without contraction, have not, or maybe with contraction, haven't, has not, or hasn't, okay? No contraction, contraction, no contraction, contraction. So the same examples as we have above, we have here. For example, I haven't studied for the exam, okay? And when we have questions, we have the same examples. First, the auxiliary have, or has, and the subject. Have I been chosen for the team? Okay, first the auxiliary, after the subject, and after the verb in past participle. So we're gonna be focused in the first definition only for this grammar, okay? And in the next grammars that we are gonna have, we're gonna see the other definitions that we can see after. The first grammar, the first definition that says that we are gonna use always in an specified point in the past, right? The first one. So what does it mean? That we're gonna use always when the differences between simple past and present perfect, it's when we, for example, we don't know when the action that started in the past, when the action is gonna finish, okay? So the difference between the past, it's, for example, if I said, I went to United States last year. So I am using last year for past, right? So that action means that I went to United States and maybe I came back, but the action finished, started in the past and finished in the past. But for example, when we use present perfect, I have gone to United States since last year, for example, but we are using since. So we are saying that we are in United States yet. So the action or the activity didn't finish. We stayed there and we are continuing being there, okay? So the things after this that we're going to put that these are important, it's the time expression. There are a lot of people that they used to get confusions when they
Mm.
find some sentences, right, in past and some others in perfect. Time expressions, but in this case for perfect. What expressions are we going to find in this grammar? We're gonna use or we're gonna find since or maybe for, okay? For example, we said, right? I have been, I have been here since last year. But I am using here since, okay? So if I use since here, it means that I am talking about an action that didn't finish, and I don't know when is it going to finish. But what are the time expressions for past? Okay, in this case, we have this. For example, the most common ones that is everything with last, for example, last year, maybe last month, last week, right? For example, yesterday, that it's an action that started before and ends there. We have maybe the time, for example, months ago, but this is the word ago. And this part, it's last, okay? Yesterday, what else? What else? Last, yesterday, ago. In these cases, right? So, um, yes, with these time expressions. So if we use or if we have some exercises where we have to use options in order to recognize if it is perfect or past, we have to be focused in the complement. If in the complement we see since or for, okay, we know that it is present perfect. But if we see last, maybe yesterday or ago, we know that it is simple past, okay? So that is the only difference between these two ones. So maybe until here, do you have some question?
If we don't have a time expression, we should understand that the sentence implies present perfect.
Yeah, of course, because we don't know when the action is gonna finish, right? So we don't put the time expression and we don't know about it. Okay. So for example, another document that I will send to you, I will send you by WhatsApp that it is this. It is the differences too, but in conversations, for example. And it is going to help you a little bit more because this is the weakness of people when they are using present perfect or simple past. Okay, so for example here, okay, for example, that part that I will share this document, okay? I will share in order to show you the differences. Okay, so yes, for example here, right? The present perfect or simple past. So in this part, we can see the differences between present perfect and simple past when they are, for example, in the picture. I have done or I did. I did in past, I have done in present perfect. We've won the cup. It's our at last. So this is in present perfect. We've won. It is because they were trying to win this, and it says we have won the cup. It's ours at least. So they were training since before and now they got it, right? But in this case, well, we won the cup last year. So the action started last year and finished last year. They only won once and it was last year. So as you could see here, in the complement we have the time expression and it is past. In this case, we don't have a time expression, so that means that we are talking about present perfect. Okay, so as you can see here before, okay, after this we watched United last week. So here, for example, we are using last week and it is an expression of past. So for example, long ago in past, dinosaurs lived here. In this case, we can't use, for example, we have watched United last week. Why? Because in the complement, we are using last week and it is incorrect, okay? Always these expressions last, ago, yesterday we are gonna use it for only past expressions. Yesterday, last week, or maybe last month, or in a specific year, in 2012, for example, or 100 years ago, these are specific expressions, but only for past, okay? Okay, so that is the difference. Okay, Miguel?
Okay, I understand.
Very good, okay.
So we have to watch the complement.
The complement, always the complement, Okay, so for example, after this, when you have this, when you understand these examples, okay, we have little conversations. You can see here, for example, when we have to, or when we want to use some expressions that we're gonna use in present perfect in the complement. In most cases, when we want to specify a time, we use for or we use since, but only these two ones, that these are the expressions for this grammar. Okay,
Okay.
great. So after this, if you want to practice a little bit with this, you can do this. These exercises where you can identify if it is past or present perfect. And if you can do it in this weekend, maybe you could do it and we can clear up some doubts on Monday. Okay.
Perfect. And I will do
Oh,
it.
great. Perfect. Perfect, Miguel. So now with this explanation, we are gonna go to the platform. Okay.
Okay.
And well, I will assign you the second unit. So give me a second. Okay. Yes. Second unit. Okay, great. So you can see it in the assignment part, please.
Well, I'm here in the assignment part. Let me
Okay,
let me share the screen
okay.
so you can see it.
Yes, now I can see. Okay, this is A. Maybe we could go down. Yes, show more. Yes, more, show more, show more. Okay, since here we started unit 2, okay? Module A, A2. So let's find the grammar. So listening, no, listening, vocabulary, speaking,
Grammar,
grammar.
present perfect.
Yes, grammar, present perfect.
Open.
Yes, please. Okay, so in this part, we have to drag and drop.
So I have to
Yes, you have to,
drag.
yes, drag, and after in the correct place, drop.
Drop.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Very good. Excellent. So let's go next. The second practice.
Okay. So complete the email, type the present perfect form of the verb in parentheses into each blank.
Yes. For example, in this case, we have to see the complement and the context too in order to see if they are present perfect. Okay, so what auxiliary do I have to use? Which auxiliary, okay?
Okay. So I have to choose I if I will use I know, but in this case it's only present perfect.
Yeah,
I
in
have
this
to,
case, yes, the instructions
okay.
is only present perfect, but we have to put very well the verb and the auxiliary.
Well, I think it's okay.
Okay, so let's see it. Okay, one mistake, and it is in the
Okay.
first,
The
right?
first one.
Yes, why? Because we are starting with negative, because the word sorry, it means
Ah,
that something negative is here, right?
yes, yes, yes.
Yes, that was the only mistake. So let's put it, try again. Great. Perfect. What happened?
Next.
Oh, I've, it
I'm
is
not
okay. Maybe,
the platform.
yeah, maybe
I
it's the platform.
I have not. Should I
Yeah,
put?
maybe in the platform. So maybe for example, you can see right in the, yeah, show answers, for example. So it is going to show you what is the mistake. So yeah, it is the problem of the platform, right? In the platform is not
Have
using this.
not.
Yeah, it's not recognizing the contraction.
Yeah, because
Okay.
uh,
Yeah,
uh,
but it is okay. It is okay. But try to see these mistakes, for example, because the platform is similar to the exam of
uh,
the test. Okay.
it,
Yeah.
I think the platform recognize how people in the United or Grand Britain speaks and emphasize the some sentences like sorry I have not email. I've not email.
Yes, 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 yes. But some cases, for example, when we do some exams in the platform, it's much better if we don't use, for example, contractions. And
Okay.
in most of the cases in negatives, because I think that the platform doesn't recognize those apostrophes, for example. But when we talk about affirmatives, yes, it's okay because only we are contracted the two first words. But when we use negative, sometimes it's better not to do it.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
great,
Got it.
perfect. So
I put next.
after this, yes, we have should and ought to, right? So
Oh,
let's go to the document. Yes, to the word and the same word.
this one.
Yes, but where do we have the, yes, we have should and be going to, I think it's down, down, down.
Should O2.
Yes.
I I forgot this O2. How to use the O2.
Okay, this should and ought to, they are the same meaning. They
Okay.
both means debería, and we use
Yes.
only for advices, right? But what is the difference here? That should we could use with affirmative, negative, and questions. But ought to, I only can use for affirmatives, no more, no with
No more
negative,
options.
no interrogatives.
Okay.
Okay, but they both are called auxiliaries. Okay, so should it's an auxiliary and ought to it's an auxiliary too. But that is the difference, okay? That we use, but only for specific actions. Should is the most common one. In an O2, it was used time ago, for example, in informal speech. But of course, right now it's considering as a grammar that it is useful. So that's why we use in affirmative, but only affirmative. We don't have negative and we can't use with questions. Okay,
Okay.
so these two ones means the same, debería, and we are gonna use only for advices. For example, if I say, I have a headache, what can I do? So you can give me an advice. You should take an aspirin, for example. And how do we make this structure? Let's go down. We have the structures there with, for example, the first one, which should, where it says that we can use with affirmative. When we have affirmative, always the subject, and should, the verb, always the verb in base form and the complement. So what is the easy way here for should? it's that we use should with all the subjects. So we don't have to separate should with this and should doesn't work with this. No, should works with all the subjects. Okay. In negatives, we can use should not without contraction or maybe shouldn't with contraction. When we talk about questions, we can use should at the beginning, of course, and after the subject. Always the base form to, and never forget the question mark. Okay, so we have some examples there. Here, a little bit, yes, below. Okay, for example, he should work. Subject, auxiliary, verb in base form. Negative, he should not go. Okay, verb in base form, should and not. Question, should we help? First auxiliary and after the subject, right? So when we want to answer to these questions, what can we do or what can we say? If it is a yes, no question,
Yes, you should.
yes,
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 you should.
yes, you should, right? And if it's negative, no, you shouldn't, right? So that is the only thing. Okay. So, but what happens with out? Let's go down. Okay, because we have the uses of should, we have more examples, and we don't have an example here without to. But for example, we're gonna put, yes, before uses of should. Let's go up. After this, if we want to use without to, for example, you tell me, I have a headache. Okay, you out to, verb in base form, take an aspirin. Okay, you ought to take an aspirin. Okay, so only this. So what are we doing here? We are using the structure, but only for affirmative, where we have to use the subject first, after the auxiliary that we have, that it is ought to, the verb, but the verb has to be in base form, and the complement, no more, okay? So this is our structure for making with ought to, okay?
Okay.
So until here, between should and ought to, do we have some questions?
Uh, is there any case uh, which uh, should I use? No, which I should use out to uh, mm, obligatoriamente. I forgot how to say obligatoriamente.
Demand, in a demand way? No,
Mm,
no, no. As I was telling you, the most common word between these two ones always is should. But of course, ought to was used but time ago. But this auxiliary didn't uh, didn't didn't disappear yet. Okay.
okay.
So sometimes you are gonna see it, maybe in the TOEFL test, maybe. But if you have, for example, some examples or some exercises,
Yeah.
and the only thing that you have to recognize is the structure that auto it's an auxiliary and always works with verb in base form, and it works with all the subjects but only for affirmatives. No negatives, no question. But that's the only thing. But if we talk about the speaking, it's not necessary to use it in speaking. We only can use should.
Okay, perfect. I have another question.
Mhm.
It's about have to, should and ought to. Which one is informal and which one is
Formal.
formal?
Ought to is the informal way.
Okay.
Should is more formal.
And have to.
Have to. Have to, in this case, we are not going to use it. Why? Because in this grammar, we are using only advices. And have to, it's like an obligation with orders.
Oh, okay.
So have to, it's more like must, for example, with
Okay.
orders. Okay?
So should it's well we 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 use should when we talk about suggestions, but
Yes.
if we want to talk about uh, obligations to do,
Yeah.
uh,
We use have to.
have to or
Must.
must, but
Yes.
but
Yes.
we don't have to use should.
We
All
don't
right.
use should. Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Okay? Yeah, that is the only thing.
Okay.
Great. So with this,
So one question
yes,
more. So when I say should I put this, it's wrong.
should I?
Should I press this button? It's wrong.
No, it is great. Why? Because you are like, um, should I press this? It's like you are asking like permission, but
Uh,
but for example, it's not like an obligation. What does happen here? For obligations, we don't have questions.
okay,
Yes.
perfect, perfect.
Must, for example, doesn't have questions, and have to for obligation, we don't have questions because
Okay.
it's
So
yes
I
or
I
no.
can't I can't say must I go must I press this? It's wrong.
Yes, it's wrong. It's wrong.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay?
perfect,
Yes.
perfect. Got it. Thank you very
Great.
much.
Great. Very good. Excellent. So now let's go to the platform.
Okay.
And yes, let's go to should and out.
Okay, I'm here.
Great. So we have to choose the correct
Okay,
option.
perfect.
Great. Yeah, and I am seeing here in the exercises that we have that option that it's the apostrophe D and better, right?
Yeah.
So this is the contraction of had better. If you can, if you can write it, take a note. Had better, okay, had better, it's like an obligation. It's similar to must, but the meaning in Spanish of had better, it's más vale que, okay? And
And and and
yes,
this auxiliary always work in this form, had better, with
yes,
any subject.
with subjects. For example, in number 7,
Mhm.
the correct way, as you put the option, so could you select
Not sure I have the right address. Well,
yes, for example, you
better.
had you'd better, so that's not correct. The correct way is with the subject plus had better. Okay, in this case, yes, it's better. Yeah, had better in affirmative, and in negative is had better not. So
Yeah.
had better means más vale que. So had better is different to should. Should is advice. It had better, it's obligation.
Okay.
Okay,
Well, let's see if
okay,
I was right. Okay.
perfect, great. So the second exercise, yes, should, okay, we have to order, right?
So my class. Money rules doesn't appreciate me enough. What?
Okay, perfect, very good. any mistake. Great. So this grammar will and be going to, we are gonna finish this grammar on Monday. Okay. Monday we will do this grammar, and Monday we're gonna start with the next unit. Okay.
Okay, perfect. So,
Okay, so do you have some question until here, Miguel?
yes, I have one question.
Okay.
Use better, um, had better, this is this auxiliary had better always be in this form, had better with I'd better.
Exactly. For example, always with had better or the contraction, I'd better, you'd better, with better, always but had with better, or always the apostrophe D with better. But I don't know why isn't these exercises, because after when we're gonna see the orders, we're gonna see it again. When we're gonna see must, have to, and we are gonna see had better to.
In
Okay.
third person, he, she, it sería, it, it
Hit.
would be
Yes.
hit, no?
Yes. Hit better, shit better, eat better.
In the plural sería Dave,
Dave, exactly.
Dave
Or with, right?
with,
Date with.
with.
Yeah.
Okay. And you've,
Exact. Youth.
no? Okay.
Mm.
So, well, if you say that this lecture we're gonna see it,
Yes. Yeah. We will see
okay,
it. You
it's okay.
must and have to. So don't worry. Don't worry. So
Perfect.
this is for not get confusion. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Great.
Got it.
Okay, Miguel. So we're gonna finish here. Okay. The daily survey. And yeah, don't forget to do the quizzes of unit 1, that you have to do it until Sunday.
Perfect. If I
Okay.
don't do it, I
Yes,
lost my.
you no. You're not gonna lose it. You can tell me, for example, you can write me to the WhatsApp and tell me I don't have time. Please, could we put to another date? And we're gonna reprogram. Okay.
Perfect. But I will do it. Don't worry.
Okay. Very good. Okay,
See you
Miguel.
on Monday.
So see you on Monday. Have a nice weekend. Bye bye. Take care a lot.
Thank you. You too. Have a good weekend, and
Thank you.
hope you can take a rest. See you
Thank
Monday.
you. Bye bye.